It's need to be even more. So I think that we sometimes sit too quiet and expressing the need for organ allocation. If you think about it, the only time that you or encounter whether you are going to be an organ donor is when you go to renew your license and someone asks you, can you put a V wherever you want, a check mark wherever you want, if you want to be a donor organ or not. If you said no, that's it. There is no commercial about that. There is no voice that, unfortunately, we're not voicing it strong enough. I have to say that we can learn also from our colleague on the other side of the sea. Let me take an example, Spain. Spain, for example, whenever someone is going to be a donor, unless proven otherwise, meaning that if someone is a candidate for donation, he's a brain deaf and the heart is a good heart, he will donate his heart unless the family will say no, he's not. So this is actually taking outside of the need for public commercial about heart transplantation. Let me give you another example that is different. Israel. In Israel, if you are on a donor list, meaning that you agree to donate your heart, you will give, and suddenly you found out that you need a transplant, you will be ahead on the list compared to patients that are not a donor, who did not assign themselves to be a donor. And if you think about it, there is a lot of rationale for it. And a lot of other countries actually try to increase the donor pool or motivate people to become donors. Nobody wants to be a heart transplant recipient. Everybody wants to be healthy. But if you think about it, if you know that if for God's sake you're going to be sick and you have a priority on someone, maybe it will motivate you to be a donor if something will happen to you that will not survive to a transplant. On the other hand, in Spain, it's dramatically increased the wait list, and the amount of transplants they are doing per patient population is significantly increased. Very close. I think that we are much ahead of our time. I think the left ventricular assist device that we just mentioned before is the first step. In a way, it's a heart pump that helps the left side of the heart. The majority of the patient, that's the reason that the heart is failing. People with biventricular failure, meaning that the left side of the heart is failing and the right side of the heart is failing, will benefit from total artificial heart. Currently in the market, there is only one official total artificial heart, Syncardia. However, there is a lot in the making, and there is a lot on creativity. For example, small ELVA device like the HVAD can be used on both sides of the ventricle and serve as a total artificial heart. Similar to that, there is other pumps that are going to this direction, and we'll see where the field is evolving. But there is no doubt that the total artificial heart or any kind of complete heart replacement therapy is on the horizon, and it's very fast coming to us. Let's divide the field into two. The field of transplant that is going on from 1967, when the first heart transplant happened by Christian Bernard in South Africa, is all the time continue to evolve. There is still there is change in immunosuppression, there is change in the way that we allocate the organs, there is change in the way that we transfer the organ, as I described with the transmedic device. And I think it will grow. For the meanwhile, we did not succeed in building artificial heart tissue from other animals, like what called xenotransplantation. This seems to be too far for us right now. Complete tissue engineering is still too far as well in that field. On the other hand, the machines is coming up, and they're coming up very fast, and we can look at it as the rise of the machine. But there is no doubt that technology that include complete biventricular support based on continuous flow pump, like the LVAD, as I mentioned, the HeartMate 2, HeartMate 3, HVAD, will eventually be applicable also for complete heart transplantation or heart replacement therapy. Definitely, as I said, for the meanwhile, a lot of patients can benefit only for solely left ventricular assist device. That is a growing field, and more than 4,000 patients a year in America is getting it every year. So are we on a precipice of disrupting innovation in that regard? I think that yes. I think that there is so much technology that is ahead of us, that the advantages on a daily basis, and the field is moving forward to a much smarter, smaller and more body compatible pumps that will replace the heart eventually.